in the heart of the forgotten town of Hollowbrook, where shadows clung to the decaying remnants of abandoned homes, there stood a mansion draped in ivy and obscured by overgrown trees. The mansion bore the weight of a sinister past, and on one moonless night, a group of unsuspecting individuals would unknowingly step into the embrace of unspeakable horror. 5 friends, seeking a thrill that would defy reason, decided to spend a night in the infamous Thornfield Manor. Its cold stone walls held secrets buried in the whispers of those long gone. As the clock struck midnight, the group gathered in the dimly lit foyer, surrounded by portraits of the mansion's cursed lineage. And beknownst to them, a group of malevolent figures watched from the shadows, their faces hidden beneath twisted masks. These were the Keepers of the Hollow, a cult that had long guarded the dark secrets of Thornfield Manor. As the night unfolded, the walls seemed to close in on the unsuspecting group. An earthly whisper slithered through the air, and the flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows that mirrored the sinister dance about to unfold. One by one, the friends fell victim to the Keeper's merciless blades. The corridors echoed with the haunting symphony of their demise. Each life extinguished like a fleeting candle in the night. The last surviving member, a trembling soul named Emily, found herself cornered in the mansion's chilling library. The Keepers, their eyes glinting with malevolence, closed in. Emily, paralyzed with fear, witnessed the gruesome finale of her friends, the walls of the library seemingly oozing with their lingering agony. The cult members, their task complete, slowly retreated, leaving Emily alone in the desolation of Thornfield Manor. As the first light of dawn began to pierce the darkness, Emily stumbled out of the mansion, her mind a fractured mosaic of terror. The garden, once a place of forgotten beauty, now lay as a graveyard for the departed. The twisted branches of gnarled trees seemed to mourn the horrors that had transpired. The sun's rays painted a macabre scene as Emily, the sole witness to the massacre, stepped onto the garden path. But the horror was far from over. From the shadows emerged a spectral figure, a manifestation of the mansion's malevolence. It whispered forgotten curses and beckoned Emily towards the heart of the garden, unable to resist. She followed the ghostly apparition. As Emily reached the center of the garden, the earth seemed to tremble beneath her feet. From the ground, grotesque hands clawed their way up, pulling forth the souls of the murdered friends and the Keepers alike, bound by an otherworldly force, rose as ethereal specters. In the ghostly silence, Emily was surrounded by the souls of the departed, their eyes devoid of warmth. The spectral figures, their faces twisted in eternal anguish, turned towards her. And in that moment, Thornfield Manor and its garden became a realm of perpetual desolation, a cursed sanctuary, where the echoes of the murdered lingered, and the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred into an endless nightmare. Second story. In the quaint town of Everdale, where secrets whispered through cobblestone streets, lived a renowned artist named Richard Holloway. His gallery, adorned with mesmerizing paintings, drew admirers from far and wide. Little did they know that within the strokes of his brush, a dark secret hid. One stormy night, a group of art enthusiasts gathered at Richard's gallery for a private exhibition. Among them was Jane Marshall, a journalist eager to uncover the mysteries behind the artist's enigmatic creations. As the guests mingled and admired the artwork, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. The room was adorned with surreal landscapes, each canvas telling a story that seemed to blur the lines between reality and fantasy. Midway through the evening, a piercing scream shattered the air. The guests rushed to the source, finding the lifeless body of Jane Marshall sprawled on the gallery floor, her eyes wide with shock. The police were called, and an investigation unfolded. The attendees became suspects in a web of lies, jealousy, and hidden motives. As Detective Daniel Reynolds delved into the lives of those present, he uncovered a labyrinth of intertwined relationships and dark secrets. Weeks passed, and the case grew colder. Just when it seemed that the truth would remain elusive, a breakthrough emerged. Detective Reynolds revisited the gallery, scrutinizing the paintings that had captured Jane's attention that fateful night. Hidden within the canvas of one particular artwork, he found a clue, a cryptic message written in invisible ink. The message led him to Richard Holloway's private studio, concealed behind a false wall in the gallery. Inside the secret studio, Detective Reynolds discovered a room adorned with unfinished masterpieces. As he examined the canvases, he realized each painting depicted a moment from the lives of the suspects, revealing their darkest secrets. The detective's eyes widened in realization. The true artist behind these macabre works wasn't Richard Holloway, it was Jane Marshall herself. In her pursuit of unraveling the mysteries, she had delved into the hidden corners of each suspect's life, using her findings as inspiration for her sinister artworks. But the question remained: why did Jane's investigation lead to her demise? As Detective Reynolds dug deeper, he uncovered a startling revelation. Jane had stumbled upon a secret that implicated one of the suspects in a crime far more heinous than she could have imagined. Fearing exposure, this suspect silenced Jane to protect their own dark secret. And in a shocking twist, the murderer turned out to be Elizabeth Thompson, the seemingly mild-mannered curator of the gallery. Her elegant facade had concealed a sinister truth. And as the truth unraveled, so did the illusions of the art world. The gallery, once a haven for creativity, became a haunting reminder of shattered reflections where the boundary between art and reality blurred, and the pursuit of truth led to a chilling revelation. Third story. On a winter night, the cold winds had intoxicated the town's streets. Falling snow had blanketed everything in a white veil. In an old house on the outskirts of town, a young woman was working on unraveling the mysterious legacy of a woman whose name she didn't even know. As she descended into the basement to solve the legacy, she heard mournful whispers emanating from the walls. It felt like a void filled with voices whispering, "Run, run, run." As she sifted through old journals related to the legacy, she felt a sudden drop in temperature in the room. The darkness around her vividly manifested, akin to a void filled with voices that had turned into an audible lament. Suddenly, the chilling room was filled with pale faces emerging from the darkness. Faceless, ghostly entities were inching towards her. The whispers had transformed into audible moans. In the blink of an eye, the room turned cold. Ghostly figures appeared in the darkness, moaning and groaning. The once whispers had evolved into an eerie, echoing cry. Next, pale faces appeared in the darkness. Eyeless, spectral entities were approaching her. The once whispers had transformed into audible moans. As she dug deeper into the basement to solve the legacy, she had unwittingly unleashed the ghosts of the house's past. The sad whispers had turned into haunting moans and groans. Suddenly, whispers turned into a loud wail. The woman, caught in the grip of fear, saw the faces of the previous inhabitants. In her quest to solve the legacy, she had unwittingly freed the ghosts. And now, they sought vengeance. Immediately following, the echoes of the whispers turned into a loud, haunting wail. The woman, gripped by fear, saw the faces of the previous inhabitants. Her pursuit of the legacy had accidentally freed the ghosts, and now they sought revenge. In a shocking turn, the murderer turned out to be Elizabeth Thompson, the seemingly mild-mannered curator of the gallery. Her elegant facade had concealed a sinister truth, and as the truth unraveled, so did the illusions of the art world. In the garden, once a haven for creativity, became a haunting reminder of shattered reflections where the boundary between art and reality blurred, and the pursuit of truth led to a chilling revelation.